We're live, Tomer.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Dahlia Ehrman on Politically Incorrect. You see, we are very incorrect here. And this is Tomer Peretz visiting and being on my show today. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, yeah.
You're free to speak in English or Hebrew.
Okay.
Or both.
Or both.
And I don't feel like nothing is working here. So I think we need to tell them. It doesn't sound like... No, I hear silence.
Yeah.
So, I think, do you hear anything now?
No. Maybe this one?
Now, I got it. No, I got it. You
Yeah.
hear me? You hear me? Do you hear me?
No. Not on this
שים
one.
אותם? עכשיו?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Perfect.
Okay. So we are live here today. Tell me if you're too loud or I'm too loud for you.
You're perfect, actually. Yeah.
And I met Tomer a few years ago. I was at a art show that you did.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed by the art, and I came to speak to you. And you started to tell me a little bit about your very interesting story. Interesting, a little bit hard, a little bit sad, a little bit everything, maybe I want to call it. I don't know. You're going to tell us about it.
Well,
and if you want, you can talk more into the microphone. It's up to
can you
you.
hear
We
me?
can still hear you,
Yeah?
but
Okay.
you'll be
all right.
louder.
That's fine. There you go.
Right.
Boom. All right. I'm not used to those things.
I know. This is all new. We're very incorrect here, so you can say what's on your mind and whatever you want.
Sure.
We're good. If you feel comfortable, it's fine, and if not,
I'm
the room will
very
get you.
comfortable.
Good.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
chill. Yeah.
Good. And
Yeah,
you can come
you know,
more in, then you can see yourself
See
here.
me here? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one or
We're
this
all
one?
of them.
All of them.
We're on
Okay.
YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So
Oh,
we're
wow.
live. Hi to everyone.
All over.
Yes.
Man.
On this beautiful day in Los Angeles, and we're in Encino
It's pretty
on
hot out
TLV Live Radio, and happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much, by the way,
Oh no, it's a
for
pleasure.
inviting me.
It's a pleasure.
I don't do those things a lot, but it's fun sometimes to
Yeah.
talk.
Something
But,
different.
Yeah. I think you catch me in a good time because I'm getting prepared for my new thing. So, and
Which
my
you're going to tell us about, right?
yeah, definitely,
Good.
of course.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And my you asked about the military, and the military is one of the things that about the art show and my experience. It's some things that I definitely follow me and stuck with me every day. Live with that. So yeah, we met at my art exhibition. It was it called Unbreakable, and it was an art exhibition all about my experience at the military.
Yes, that's what I remember.
The paintings I did was dedicated to my soldier who got killed and my friends who got killed, and I was in Chomat Magen, so that was in 2000. So obviously, whoever was fighting that time was lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of.
Very traumatic.
It was very intense time. Not that we don't have intense time every year over there, you know.
But this was on a personal level for you.
Yeah, because I have a PTSD and
Which you have to live with daily,
yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
movies about it, and Israeli ones, and about people.
Yeah, it's when you suffer from PTSD, you're not the only one who suffer. Like the people around you, you know. I have 3 kids and a wife, so they're part of it as well.
They have to live with it with
They
you
have to
daily.
live with your.
How does
with
that manifest? Do you not sleep at night?
Yeah.
How does it?
problem
okay.
sleeping? A lot of illusion, azayot, flips. Like I can flip, and if I get a trig, it like something trigger that. We're not gonna get into those things, but
But it's a mood swing.
it's not really a mood. It's not that I just have a high tempo or something. It's not that. It's like you just get a drop. It's very hard to explain, but you get a drop and just fall on the floor and just cannot even move and not doing anything for a few
Wow.
hours. And
Wow. So
yeah,
it's very
it's
traumatic.
it's a
So you have a
yeah.
very special family that loves you a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fortunate.
Thank
I think it's the best thing that happened to me.
Right. Thank God.
Definitely.
And also, it inspired you for your future because of your art. Is that correct?
So, yeah, I paint a lot about my darkness. You know, I take a lot of my darkness and I put it into art, and that's why I did a show about my time at the army, and most of my shows I've done came from dark, and I think it's helped me also to release it because I'm not a speaker, and I don't go to groups, and I don't have therapists on a weekly basis. So
So
I
your
think it
therapy
helps
is
me.
art.
Yeah, in a way, I feel very comfortable to release. Um, it just helped me to release everything instead of talking about that.
Okay. Well, at least you found that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's your future. So now, is that how you make money? You sell your art?
yeah. Some of it.
So you-
I do other things, obviously, especially the last year when all shows and galleries were
Yes,
closed.
everything was closed.
Showing in Mexico and Italy, and the galleries in Mexico and Italy were closed, and my gallery here in LA was no shows, just different events. So I definitely do and have to do sometimes other things in order to bring money home.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do different things like the market you've been last time.
I loved
yeah,
it. So I'll tell the audience in case somebody wasn't there because it was such a great adventure, I want to say, for me, because it was almost like the first time I went out to normal feeling of life after this year of Corona, and I really was home a lot. But it was a beautiful market show where people were selling things, both handmade and other things that they were selling. There was food, there was drinks, there was a live band,
Yeah.
people walking around. Very good atmosphere. And without your artwork.
Yeah, it was on purpose. It's funny. Like people got into my gallery and they're like, okay, where is the other one? Like, I didn't
Right.
say I'm showing. I invited people to come to a market, but um, obviously I have a show on June, and I said before I rather not to show anything right now up until the show. I have new stuff, shocking, interesting, aesthetic, beautiful. I can say a lot of
Wow,
things
I
about
can't
that.
wait to see it.
But yeah, I didn't want to ruin the surprise.
Yeah. So can you tell us when in June? We're looking forward.
So yeah, it's gonna be the opening is June 5th.
So it's a few days.
Okay. The show will be open the art exhibition will be open for a full month.
Oh,
But-
that's fantastic. Okay.
But there's a
big
big
but.
but here. The art performance, which this is the main thing, will be only 2 days, June 5th and June 12th.
It's two separate days, not
Two separate
consecutive.
days.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's Saturday and then it's the following Saturday.
Okay. At night, in the day.
So it started at 5 o'clock
Okay.
until 11,
And where?
and that's gonna be on Broadway and Second.
I'm going to tell you guys before that. I'm going to remind the audience where it is, and I'll. You'll give me more information, and I'll.
Oh yeah,
I'll
yeah,
Let them know. Yeah.
definitely.
So.
So it's on. It's June 5th. The show starts. Now it's not. It's very different from anything I've ever done before. I'm gonna have an art performance with over 20 actors. They're gonna
Wow.
be part of the show.
Oh wow!
and it's-
Professional actors or.
Yeah. Professional actors and more than 12,000 square feet space of art installations, actors.
That's amazing.
And by the way, it's free. No money,
Free
no
entrance,
tickets,
guys.
no
That's a good
admission,
one.
no RSVP. Don't send us email. Don't do anything. Just show up.
Just show up to have
That's it,
fun
yeah.
and enjoy.
Yeah.
And if somebody likes the art, they can buy it. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, of course. That's always an
That's
option.
always part of it.
It's always an
right.
option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the artwork. So let's go back to the performance. So what is that going to be about?
So I said before, I'm I'm creating a lot, and I love to create from darkness. I take
Mm-hmm.
my anxiety, my post trauma, my frustration,
Mm-hmm.
my the worst mood ever, and I take the reasons why I get those and I create about that.
That's
So,
phenomenal, though, that you're able to manifest that and do that for yourself, and
uh,
not keep falling into the deep hole, right?
yeah, 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 definitely. You know what?
Kind of brings
Sometimes,
you up a little bit.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it breaks me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not easy because it comes from a very depth
Mm-hmm.
part of me. It's very deep, and like 12 years ago, I created about the military, and now I create about my perception about the system
Mm-hmm.
in America and actually all around the world, especially about the last year.
You can
So
elaborate. This is a politically incorrect
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. I don't,
So
no, I don't.
you're
I just,
free to elaborate.
I don't. It's. I don't. I really trying to keep my words, my mouth shut because I really don't want to ruin the surprise.
Oh,
But
okay.
because
Okay.
the idea is to let people come
And get and see it in.
and shock. Like it has to surprise
Okay.
people. Like
Okay.
if you go to my Instagram or you go to of my website, you see some art, you see portraits, you see some
Mm-hmm.
military stuff, but nothing is showing
What's going to
what's
happen
gonna
at the
happen.
show?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay. Well, now I'm really looking forward. But
yeah,
when you say about the actual show with the actors, is that going to be for a half an hour, ongoing throughout the
5 hours.
evening? Oh, wow. So people
5
can come
hours.
and go and
People
see
come
it.
and go. It's a two-part show, so you enter the gallery
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to the fourth floor.
Okay. Well, I
And
can't wait.
yeah, and the second part of the show, that's where all the crazy stuff are
Okay.
at. Yeah,
All right.
it's yeah. I'll try.
A
And
lot
I'll
of
say
surprises.
a lot of surprises. A lot of
And
surprises. Very
right.
interesting. It's actually for most of I think we want to do this.
I
maybe.
saw that, so I was going to call
Yeah,
her.
no, that's fine.
Okay. You see,
Yeah.
you're good. I have a technical guy here. I'm
It's-
not good at it.
it's easy. um, I so yeah, where I was, yeah, the show. It's a two-part show.
Okay.
So the second part will be the shocking part. The first part will be more of the like portraits and paintings and nice stuff, and then the second part will be a very making a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to, it's up to you, if you want to talk about how your life became like this, post-traumatic, and all the problems that you had. Is it, obviously, you said earlier that you saw people dying and a lot of your friends passed away. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that or you don't feel like getting into that.
Well, I think I don't want to get into too much my stories, but I think when you're 19, 18, 19, 20 years
Very
old,
young.
and you see your friends getting shot and
Mhm.
into all that crazy time, I don't think you're gonna have a clear future like someone who didn't see.
Right.
So
It changes you for life.
yeah, it changes you. It makes you
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily forget them for good and for bad because I'm not saying it's always bad,
Mm-hmm.
but it is not. You're just not gonna be the same person.
Okay.
It's not that I remember how I was before. I don't really remember how I was before. It was. I feel it's like me. It was me my entire life.
Okay.
So, 1 second.
We're good.
Good. So, now I have a lot of different thoughts about does it make sense or it doesn't make sense for a 19 years old to go and see people dying in a war
Mm-hmm.
and they take you as a kid and put you out there because of
Mm-hmm.
some decisions of politicians, usually
Correct.
because of money, and some of them because of some control. And 18, 20 years old need to go and eat that, and their family also, need to live with those things. So it's very frustrating. I did it with a pride. I'm not regretting anything. I love Israel.
You grow up like that in Israel.
I grew up like that. I grew up in Jerusalem, Southeast Jerusalem. I grew up
Okay.
on the conflict. Like, I'm very,
Really
it was very
lived
close
it.
to me. I lived that,
Yeah.
you know. Even my son, he knows already about Golani, and
How old is he?
He's 7 next week.
Okay.
Yeah,
So would you send your kids to the army?
I will let him do whatever he wants. If he wants to
Okay.
go to the army, I'll let him
I was
go.
curious about that because
Yeah.
there's
Well,
a lot of kids from here that do go,
Yeah,
and
And
I
I-
think
and
that for
I'm
some
proud
it
of
would
them.
be very,
I'm very
dramatic.
proud of those kids.
and for some it's life changing in a really good way. Like it makes them grow up, be a man. Something that it's still different than someone that doesn't go. They get a different type of experience.
You take some good things from it, and you take some bad things.
Right.
The bad things I got is just because I have some hard time with certain things, but I think I became a better person. I would recommend my son to go, not necessarily to go to Golani, but
Okay.
to try
to try something else.
to try that kind of a system. If he wouldn't want him, I wouldn't push him.
Right.
you know.
No, the person has to want.
I had a lot of pressure. Let's put it that way. I had a lot of pressure to be the biggest fighter as you can, but I wouldn't.
Because you
put
grew
this
up
pressure.
like that. Because your family
The
wanted
surrounding,
you to,
the
surroundings.
family, my brother was, my father was, my uncle, my cousins, my this,
Right,
all of my friends.
right.
It's even if they don't tell you, you have that pressure because it was all around my life since I was very
and
young.
something you grew up with, right? Since
Always,
you were young.
yeah.
So if the audience doesn't know, if anybody doesn't know, in Israel, men go to the army for 3 years and women do for 2 years, and it's mandatory.
Yeah.
However, so being Golani is not mandatory. I mean, it's something that you trained for,
Well, they take you, so
and
you. So
how does that work? I mean, you asked for it, obviously. in your
now,
case.
most people go. I think most people go to Golani. It kids that want to go to Golani.
They really want to. Okay. So if
very-
somebody doesn't want to, they're not going to force them to do that.
They do.
Oh, they do. So there you go. I was
do.
trying to get to that.
They do. Yeah, they do. They force you to go.
If they
and-
think you're fit.
But
You have to be
again,
fit
there's
for it.
always you have to be fit for it. But there is always some ways to get out of it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've heard stories
Yeah.
in Israel of ways to get out of things like that. However, in order to be fit for it, they mean mentally and physically, right?
Yes.
It's not just a physical, your body and your build.
Mentally and physically,
You have to be a strong personality.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to be strong, super strong personality just to even finish it. Because a lot of people starting and not finishing, like they leave after 6 months or a year and a half,
Okay.
or they've been kicked out.
So
or
then
whatever.
what? They go just to a regular part of the army? Or they're out of the army completely?
There is no regular part. It just like even in Golani, you have.
I did not do the army, so I'm just
Well,
explaining.
I'll teach you. Yeah.
I didn't live in Israel, so.
Imagine that Golani is a unit that, let's say, 500, 600, 700 fighters, right? Someone need to cook for them. Someone need to take care
Right,
of
right.
their weapons. Someone need to take care of their vehicles.
It's a little village.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can be in Golani, but being that guy that is taking care of their vehicle or the weapon, but
got
you're
it.
not fighting.
Okay, I
You-
understand
yeah.
now. You're not front line,
You're not frontline.
but you were front line
Yeah.
at a
yeah,
time that
yeah.
was, like you said, there's almost always a time like that.
Yeah.
But this was a particularly bad time.
Yeah, I was an officer for a year and a half. I had my unit with 25 soldiers under me, and that was the hardest part. That's where I lost one of my soldiers.
And right in front of you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
No.
But, and so now you do, are any of your drawings about him?
Not now.
Not now, but they were in the beginning.
Yeah, bunch.
Okay.
A lot.
I think that I saw some of those.
You saw funeral, I think. A bunch
Okay.
of soldiers crying.
Because then I asked you about it, and you started to tell me this story.
So the story about this painting is it's called Funeral, and and it's obviously came from a memory from his funeral.
Oh, from the actual
From the
funeral.
actual funeral. Not a photo, not a real
Okay.
photo, but the funeral was something that I always remember, and even that moment when the doctor at the field was gave the notice that David, we lost David. I was the first one who obviously got this message. So his voices and all those things are still in my mind.
They're instilled in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I saw that picture, and I remember, like you said, that someone walks in and is at awe or in shock, or I remember standing there and just staring at it for probably 10 minutes, and then you walked by and I asked you about it. So I specifically remember it.
I tell you what, I think it's very hard to see a soldier crying.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Because
not just one, several.
Yeah, and when you see a painting, and it's huge, it's like 10 foot by 7 foot painting. When you see soldiers crying, it does something to you. So it's very hard.
You feel it in your bones. I could tell you how I felt at that moment. And especially, like I said earlier, that I didn't live in Israel. I mean, I have family in Israel. I go every year, but I didn't live the life where it's instilled in you to be in the army, part of the army. Almost everybody knows someone maybe that something happened to them. I didn't live like that. So as growing up here, for me, soldiers were these super heroes, big macho Israeli guys. It's like an image in your mind, and then you see them crying in a picture. So it's the opposite image of what I was grown up knowing and thinking about Israeli soldiers.
Yeah, it was the first time that you, as a soldier, also are breaking in front of everybody. It's it's not something that you see and feel a lot in the military. So. And
unfortunately, like you said, in the last few years, there's more of it. But I remember growing up and hearing stories from my father about Israel and the army, and it was always his best friends that he met. And this, so my image was always these strong macho guys. They can't die. So I think it was a shock for me also when I saw your picture that it was a realization that the soldiers are not this image that I have in my head, but a real person. And very young, because when I was younger, to me they looked older. But now I realize they're young boys.
Kids.
They're kids. Yeah. And I think that I stood there just thinking, oh my God, this is so real and something I didn't think about in this way before. I remember it affecting me. That's what I told you even on the phone today. That was the image I had in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's...
your paintings really tell an entire story. That's what I'm...
Yeah, I used to, now when I see soldiers, I see them as kids.
You see them as kids, and you used to think of them also as adults.
And I'm like, I can't believe that I did those things. Like, that you enter into Gaza and you're in a battle of shooting, and I'm like, oh my God, like, how would I feel if I'll do it right now? I don't know. I don't know if I can do it right now, But when I was 18, 19, I could. So,
and I think it's strange. The adrenaline. I mean, I'm assuming not. That I don't think you think about it at the moment.
Nah. You don't think about that.
It's something you just go through, emotion.
And you're so into it.
Right.
I was so into it.
So is that part of the training? I think that they kind of brainwash you at the same time while they're training you. You become this macho man, don't you?
I don't think I was brainwashed.
Okay. Maybe I'm not using the right language, the right vocabulary for your explanation, but I meant like it's something that you are, you're feeling like you want to go and do, kind of like a G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We called it... זה כמו להיות מורעל. You're poisoned, but you're not really poisoned.
It's not brainwash. Was it mashu in you? Like
you know what, in a way.
Right.
You know what, in a way. But for me, it was easy because I really grew up on that. So it was, I was all into Gaza, let's go,
Right.
But,
and then you see the reality of what really happens.
And then you live with that in your entire life.
Live with it. And on the other hand, we have to protect the country. I mean, that's a story within itself.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it's a partial political, but partial reality. I mean, you have to have soldiers.
Yeah.
You know.
We have no choice,
right,
I guess.
No choice. And when you go to Israel, especially as someone that grew up here, and you see the people on the street, happy, restaurants happening, you know, it's such a fun place to be. But you don't realize the reality that maybe at that moment, while you're having fun at the restaurant, there's soldiers out there endangering their lives and doing stuff. It's things that you don't really think about.
No.
Unless you're a parent and your child is in it.
And
you know,
I don't think you should think about it. But that's why
that's
there are soldiers to let you live your life and not even thinking about the borders. You know.
Right.
Yeah, it's you know, I had a lot of moments when I was very not upset, but I questioned a lot. Like, is these people really understand what's going on out there?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's a good thing to think about that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you have to live your life, which I think you're doing, even though you have that, like you said, and I'm sure it's not easy. But you are living your life, and you are producing, and you are got married, and you do have children.
Yeah.
So you didn't just fall down a tube and not be able to get out of it.
Thank God, not me.
Thank God, right?
Thank God, not me.
There are people I know.
But I have a lot of friends that could not continue and could not, and
very sad.
Still don't have a life after that. I think I'm the good story. I'm not the best story. You know, I'm the one who
you can inspire others,
and something good came out of it.
And
know?
What brought you to LA?
A mistake.
It's the best kind of mistakes, right?
Yeah. No, I was traveling in South America like most soldiers do, you know.
Yes. Post army.
Yeah. And then I just arrived to LA because I wanted to, you know, visit my uncle, and after 16 years, I'm still here visiting.
Wow, that's a good 16 years then.
Yeah.
Which also changed your life. Did you get married here or in Israel?
I got married here, but I got married with my wife, and I grew up at the same neighborhood, same school.
Oh, that's really nice.
So we got in contact when I was here and she was in Israel.
Okay, so high school kind of lovers.
No, because we didn't really talk when we were we were not really talking. It was a big school, and you don't really know everybody. So
how did you reconnect?
Just I had an art show in Israel.
Oh, okay.
And I remember I sent messages to, it was 11 years ago. I sent messages to some people, and they sent her a message, and she responded. And we just started talking through Facebook. It was, and we just spoke on the phone, and she helped me with the show. Went back to Israel and got back with her.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And now, 3 kids later, and in LA.
Kids. Yes.
With an art show coming up.
With an art show coming up, yeah.
A really good one, too.
Yes.
So I know Lino that works for you. And with you. Okay. Nice. And she said that you are just the most inspiring, amazing person that helps her out, and to pick your brain because that you are so interesting, and people that are around you are always so inspired by you. And I just said, yeah.
Did she say that?
Yeah, she did.
Thank you.
And I know that because when I met you that one time, it stayed in my head.
Thank you.
You know, like I remembered you when you walked in the door. So there is something to that. So
thank you.
Yeah, something special, you know.
Thank you.
I wish that there was a way I could show at least some of your other pictures, but people can go online, like you said, to Instagram and to your website.
You can just even Google my name, Tomer Peretz. A lot of things will come up.
Okay.
It's super easy to find me.
Right.
But I think nothing looks good and nothing is interesting compared to the show. Seriously. Wow. Yeah.
I already can't wait, especially since I had fun at the marketplace, even though that wasn't the same thing, but I had
that's usually what I do. I most of the things I do is not by myself, so it's mostly with people.
Okay, so you collaborate with people.
Yeah.
But that makes it more interesting.
I like people. I like to work with people. I think you are much stronger when you have.
I agree.
Other people can work with you, and and it works well for me.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that first of all, other people bring their own opinions and personalities, and it changes everything. I agree. I think that each person brings something very good in, and you can grow. There's a chance of growing. One person by themselves can only grow so much.
Yeah.
You can become,
True.
Grow a lot.
True.
With that. So do you take your kids to Israel? You go, you visit? Or
We didn't go for 2 years.
Okay, less than me. I went a long time ago.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I went. It's 6 years already.
Yeah, I think if you go, you have to get vaccinated, and I'm not into it, so we're probably not going to go now. We'll see what's going on. My parents...
They change it daily. They change the rules there all the time, every day now. Personally, I do believe in vaccination. Everybody is, different.
Yeah.
I got vaccinated, but I know some didn't. Some people are still having corona, even though people think that it's over. Some people literally think it's over.
People are still getting corona?
Yes, I actually know 2 people right now that have it.
Oh, wow.
One of my son's friend and another person that I heard. Actually, small kids now are getting it.
Oh, wow.
So they shut down. My brother's son is 13. And in his class, the kids were getting it and passing it around. So it definitely still exists.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and everybody has a different reason of not being vaccinated, their own or whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone is different. Personally, I got vaccinated. Both my kids did. I'm very into it, but I didn't go out before that. I didn't feel comfortable. So everyone's different. I really felt very uncomfortable.
Really?
I was very careful.
So you were home?
I was home almost the entire time.
No way.
I did everything from home, even shows on Zoom.
Not
as many as coming in here and everything.
Wow. So hard.
Hard, but also my mom is older, and I was scared to visit her if I was around people. I mean, I went to the market and things like that, but I didn't really go out. I didn't see people. Nobody was allowed in my house.
Wow.
Even my daughter.
No way.
So I saw my daughter in the backyard because she was out and about, and she got corona really bad. Very bad. I mean, she had it 16 days, very, very bad.
Wow. I had COVID too.
You did? Okay.
But I didn't get it bad. So.
You were lucky.
Yeah, I guess.
You're lucky. That's good. I mean, a lot of people didn't. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
It's very individual. So.
Very.
Yeah. But so you don't really need the immunization right now if you had it. I mean, you need it.
No,
they say at least a year. You have antibodies, so everybody in their decisions.
I had it. I felt great. I didn't have any symptoms.
Oh, you had atypical.
I respect other people's decision. Each
me too. But I think that it's a little bit hard. You had it, so you already have antibodies. It's different. But if someone who didn't have it, doesn't have antibodies, and it refusing to get immunization, if they're healthy, most likely, everything will be okay. But some people that I know are very unhealthy people with lots of issues. Personally, I think that that's a mistake. But, again, that's my personal thing. I know to Israel, you definitely have to be either quarantined for 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, you had it, so you have antibodies, so you might ought to be. I don't know how that works. But your kids need it.
Yeah. So my parents are coming probably next month, and my father and my mother-in-law came a month ago. So
are they going to be at your show at the gallery?
So maybe they'll come after the show.
Oh, after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Better for them.
Oh, really? Why? Will it put them in shock?
Probably too much.
Okay. So are you telling the people it's going to be hard?
For some people.
For me, it was hard seeing your art last night.
Yeah, so it would be hard.
It stayed in me the whole night.
Yeah,
it was something that affected me. I for sure remember that. I remember the feeling. I remember going home and thinking about it, which means you're an amazing artist. Let me just tell you, because your story talks. It was in my bones. It was in my bones. It was in my. I felt it.
You know what? Art is a language, and if my art, meaning what I'm trying to say, is touching you, it did the job,
me.
And it doesn't matter in what way. Some people will be happy, some people will be sad. It doesn't matter as long as you have some kind of a feeling about that it did the job.
You definitely, in my opinion, do the job. I mean, I think that it would be hard for me to believe that somebody will see it and not take a stop and stare and think,
Yeah.
wow, like really feel it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that person, something's wrong with them. It's just my opinion because it's something that it really talks to you.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that the show, with the people, the actual show, is that going to be dark or it's going to be happening? Is there a dark side to that as well?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
But good. It's
it's all good.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's something that has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be that person that is doing this.
Okay.
I think everybody should see it. Everybody should be aware of it.
Okay.
And it's not a question about opinion. It's a fact.